Right, just come in from a kite session at Shoreham. Really wasn't very motivated to go out because it's been so cold recently. But luckily I've got an eye on Seek Select 6.5 with hood. This is a really comfortable wetsuit. It's got max flex throughout, which a lot of people have got the Seek amp, which has the max flex on the arms and the chest on the new one. This is full body max flex and then graphene on the inside. So this is the top of the range wetsuit from Ion. It is expensive, but it is the only wetsuit that I've found that's flexible for that thickness, and is, yeah, I don't really notice the thickness, but I definitely notice that it's warm and it's flexible, and it's just, yeah, a lovely suit. But that's not the reason I'm doing this video. Winter wetsuits, especially ones like this, are quite expensive. Some people buy 2 wetsuits to get around the problem of not having to put on a cold, dry, wet wetsuit in the morning or the next day if they're, a frequent user. But yeah, wetsuits like this are expensive. Even me in the shop, I don't want to and can't really afford to have multiple of these wetsuits. We don't really need to, because it's only cold for a few months of the year. Some people have double summer suits, and I think that makes sense because when you're at the beach, you might go in the water twice in one day or one afternoon. But yeah, winter wetsuits, they're expensive, they're thicker. People don't want to buy multiple of them. But yeah, the reason for this video is I've just grabbed one of the Surflogic Pro Heater Dryer hangers, and you can probably hear it in the background. And yeah, just got a bit excited about it and just grabbed the camera and wanted to do a video. It's amazing. Basically, it's heated. It's like a big fan at the top that you put in the neck of the wetsuit. So the wetsuit's already the right way around, so that'll save me time in the morning. And no one likes putting their hand into a cold wetsuit. But yeah, it's basically drying out the wetsuit from the inside, so that'll help with hygiene and make the wetsuit last longer because it won't rot or have any hygiene problems. There's basically hot air blowing. I don't know if you can sort of see, but there's hot air blowing out of the arms and the legs. And I'll turn the camera around so you can see it's, come on. It's blowing. I don't know if you can see it on there, but yeah, there's hot air blowing out the bottom of the wetsuit, and there's already loads of water coming out the bottom. So yeah, it's super fast. Let me show you at the top. So there's this big sort of fan. I don't know if you can see it there. There's a big sort of fan at the top. There's a waterproof sort of covered switch on the front. And then it's got a UK plug. They do a European version as well, and it comes with a nice heavy duty and carabiner. So yeah, really cool bit of kit. But yeah, basically it's drying out my wetsuit. So they claim, I'm going to sort of time it. It's been running for about 5 minutes so far, but they claim, I think they say like a summer suit, 3-2 wetsuit is around 15 to 20 minutes, depending on the air temperature of the room. And then a winter wetsuit, I think, is around 30 to 45 minutes. And then the 6.5 like this, a really thick wetsuit, can be up to 60 minutes. But yeah, it automatically turns off after 60 minutes. So you don't need to worry about it running forever. I think it also has some clever things inside it. If it notices it gets too hot, it'll stop running as well. They are quite expensive, but they're much cheaper than a top of the range. If you're using a good wetsuit and you're going out frequently in really cold weather, you've probably got a pretty good, maybe quite expensive winter wetsuit. And yeah, you don't want to buy 2 of them, but this is a really good way to dry your wetsuit nice and quickly and outside your home. So I live in a flat and my garage doesn't have power. It's not connected to my building. So I unfortunately can't run this outside, but a lot of people have garages and they have power in their garages, and it means you can keep your partners happy by keeping all the wet gear and all the, the wetsuits and all the smelly stuff outside in your, your garage or your outbuilding, rather than bring it into the house. So yeah, when you come in from a session, you hang it on this hanger, turn it on, it's automatically going to turn off, go indoors, and then all the mess is outside. And next day, if you're going to go out, you've got a nice warm, dry wetsuit. Yeah, can't rate it enough. They're about 170 something pounds, which sounds expensive, but after a few years and you're using it every winter, you can even use it in the summer if you're doing multiple sessions and only have one wetsuit. Yeah, can't really rate it enough. Annoyingly, my smart meter is broken at the moment, so I would tell you how much it is to run for an hour. I'll plug it into the shop another day and get a reading off the smart meter in the shop to let you know how much it costs. It's 1,200 watts. I'm sure some clever people that know how much power consumption that uses, but I can't do that maths in my head, and I definitely don't know how to. But yeah, once I've worked it out, I'll put it in the product description. Yeah, it's a really good product. And that's why I grabbed the camera out. I'm really pleased that I can go on the water tomorrow because of the weather pattern we've got at the moment. We've got weather warnings tonight, so the waves are already pretty good. they're going to be really big tomorrow, and it's swinging westerly. And it's high tide in the morning, so I really need this wetsuit. Wouldn't dry in front of a radiator just tonight. It's too thick and it's too wet. You know, I was body dragging a lot today, so it's soaking wet, and there's no sunshine to dry it out. But you're not supposed to dry wetsuit in direct sunshine anyway. It's not good for the neoprene. It will dry it out, and it will. Well, yeah, it's not good for the glues. So yeah, great product. This is the Surflogic Pro heated hanger.